And welcome back to Echo Base Network. Thank you guys so much for being here with us today as we look at the latest dealings with the Book of Boba Fett. As I was looking through the news headlines today, I came across an article right here that was kind of jarring, alarming, whatever you want to call it. Over here from that park place where I first saw the alert that the Book of Boba Fett has a very quickly declining rating over at Rotton Tomatoes. And before we head over to Rotten Tomatoes and look at that, the Book of Boba Fett audience score falls Favreau blamed. It says the first season rating so far is only 65%. That places the miniseries far lower than the 90% plus ratings for both seasons of The Mandalorian. It places it significantly lower than any of the Marvel miniseries on Disney+. None of these numbers should be given or believed as an absolute given how much they've manipulated, but the trend is clear. It's getting bad enough that now we're beginning to see gentle blame games continue. Now, here's what they're reporting from WDW Pro. He says, I'm hearing chatter that there's a camp of people trying to claim that this is all director Robert Rodriguez's fault. According to some, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni were not able to give the Book of Boba Fett full attention because they had to remap their plans for the Star Wars streaming and cinematic future after Gina Carano and her Rangers show were canceled. Likewise, apparently Jon Favreau is getting pulled by Alan Bergman into a larger role within the company of helping guide both Star Wars and Marvel projects as a consultant in creative direction meetings. According to those putting the blame on Rodriguez, this allowed him to push the Book of Boba Fett in a silly Spy Kids direction without someone to corral that back in a better lane. And that is from WDW Pro. Let's head over to Rotten Tomatoes and look. So you got the 90% critic score, but the audience score, 65%. It has been on a steady decline, after all three of these episodes. And when you click there, you can actually read some of these comments, guys, and like right here, this is the latest comment. The first three episodes were a joke. I mean, I really got in there with zero expectations. I really enjoyed The Mandalorian, so maybe I kind of expected something of that type. But already along the first episode, I realized that this series is on a whole different level. Childish and boring, this show could not be more harmless. Made it to episode 3 and had to walk away. Disney has officially served up another plate of pure pandemic junk. Giving up watching this nonsense, had high hopes for the series. Unfortunately, the acting is cringy. So far after watching episode 3 tonight, episode 3 has thus made this season quite weak, with just poor CGI and a land speeder that should have had no speeder in the title. Really slow all over the place. Here's a 4.5 star. A fresh take on Star Wars exploring the criminal underworld of the galaxy in a different way than previously seen in other Star Wars media like Solo and Clone Wars. I'm so sick and tired of recent Hollywood trope of turning all the villains into heroes. That's a fair point. So anyways, guys, you do see it is on a decline there. But I'm not ready to write this thing off. And I am anxiously waiting for the 4th episode. I want to love it. I want to give it a 10 out of 10, a 9 out of 10. The way that we have seen it here has not been in the majority. I gave the first episode a 7 out of 10. And the second episode, I'm in the minority. I gave it a 4 out of 10. I did not like it. I know so many people are like, what? And then the third episode, I gave it a 7 again. Maybe I was being too generous. So it just so happens if you average those out, I'm right at the average of the critical review. What's crazy to me is that how much it's been on a decline and how many people are saying they're walking away from it. Because so many people are saying they loved it. 10 out of 10 after episode 2. 1 and 2, everybody seemed to be on the bandwagon, and then they come out with episode 3, and all of a sudden there's this massive drop-off. And to that, I don't really know what's going on there. Hold tight, guys. Maybe they're going to get this thing going in the right direction before the season's over. It's okay to have a rocky start. let's have a strong finish. It is what it is. So anyways, thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight on Echo Base Network. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Do you think the 65% over on Rotten Tomatoes is just, if it's too low, too high, what have you, and are you going to continue to watch? I know that we certainly will. So anyways, thank you. We are, you are, Echo Base Network, and we will see you guys on the next one.